Welcome back, family, to the Back Issue Book Club. I'm Greg, that's Rich.
Hey!
This week we read Volume 2 plus 2 bonus books of Department of Truth. So 6 and 7 are not technically part of Volume 2 because I guess they're more of
like backstory?
One-off backstories, expositions, kind of to give you just more context.
Right. If you didn't read them, you wouldn't be hurt.
Right. So 6 through 13 was Volume 2. And Department of Truth, you keep going down a deeper rabbit hole with this book. I liked 6 and 7 best. Partly because the artwork was, like, I felt more relaxed.
Yep.
I was like, oh, like I could breathe because I could see definition and things.
Yeah, and then when it got back to 9, I'm like, oh, no, not back to this.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
I thought that we were past that, man.
I was audibly like, So, but I'm not going to rehash that. You guys heard that in the last podcast.
Yep.
So, how did it go for you?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I read 6.
Yeah.
7, 8. Part of 9. It said I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't remember whether it was 6 or 7, but there was pages and pages of. It looked like somebody copied newspaper font. You know what it reminded me of? Trying to read the books that were written by Kevin Spacey in 7.
Oh, okay.
I just saw all that microscopic print, all of it, and went, nope. Just started flipping pages. I'm not even going to bother trying to read this. I can't do that.
You might as well have like be microfiche or something.
Yeah, and once I got to 9, and it was just, oh my God, so much dialogue, and then it got to a section of 9 where there was more stuff that, like, it looked like cut newspapers put together, and I'm like, okay, never mind, I can't do this. If I wanted this, I would read a book. I want comics because I don't want to read this much.
This was a hard read, man. I went through 13.
God love you.
It was and by hard I mean like a lot of brain power to read the boxes and follow the imagery, and then like there's just so much. It's like a Tarantino movie, like just straight up dialogue, and then I got to a point in book, I want to say 10, where they're hunting Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. Okay. Like I said, I stopped at 9.
I can't tell if there was an actual big. Part of the reason anyway, I'm going to go in a bunch of directions, but I'm going to stay focused here. There was probably a third of the book was handwritten letters by the guy who was hunting Bigfoot with like water-stained paper and like little sketches over it, and it's just like, and it was cursive, and it just, I read the first paragraph of the first one, and I was like, I don't care, I don't have time for this, like,
yeah,
it's just, I have to focus so hard to decipher, to read it, because it's not just like plain font. There was just like 3 sections where there was just 3 long letters, and I skipped through them. I think it was more like issue 6 and 7. It was just context for what was happening. So I felt okay skipping it.
See, I've got 2 big things working against me. One, I read phonetically. I read exactly the same speed that I talk.
Okay.
Because I actually hear it in my head.
Yeah.
How these people go speed reading, I don't have a clue. 2, I have ADD. So I will start reading, and my eyes will continue going over the words, but my brain is thinking about, like, oh, I can't wait for the Flash movie to come out, and I remember that part of the trailer, and maybe I got to check this out and check that out. I'm like, oh my God, wait, I'm supposed to be reading.
Yeah.
Then I have to go back and see what was the last thing I remember actually processing.
I'll do that. I'll drift away, and then I'll come back and find that I've read the same line 3 times. Have you ever done that?
I don't know. I mean, my eyes continue reading. I'll continue turning pages,
Ah, okay.
but it never makes it from the eyeball to the brain.
Got it.
So when I go to read it the second time, it's hey, this is brand new. I didn't even know.
Who's
The
this
other
guy?
thing is that this was so serious, so drab. I kept falling asleep. I'm literally reading, going.
Yeah,
Wait
I
It was 2 p.m. I went, okay, and I had coffee and everything. I was out.
I was. I don't want to say irritated. Maybe I was getting irritated. I'm surprised Tynion spent such energy like weaving this whole complicated narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a lot, man. Like I just kept being tired reading it. It was a heavy lift. I don't know how else to put it. It just, and like you said, I think you mentioned to me, Hawk is like a crass, vulgar. Yeah,
And I can be at times, but he's got that one level, and that's it.
yeah. And half the time, more than half the time, I cannot tell what is reality. I don't know if they actually went into the woods and found a Sasquatch, found a person dressed up as a Sasquatch and shot him. There was no Sasquatch, even though I saw the art on the page. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Because and now there's an actual star-faced man in the. You didn't make it this far, but they went to Denver because that's where the opposition has their.
That was at 9. That was the airport.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, turns out Hawk is a double agent. He's moved over to the other side. And he's like, I'm just trying to tell you, whatever, just a lot of verbiage. And he's like, either you join us or we send you in there with the star-faced man and you figure it out. And I was like, oh, star-faced man was like a dream he had. What? How?
Exactly.
It's just like,
And it was actually just part of a dream that, like, he had the initial impression of him, and then they doctored his cartoons and and background pictures of the commercials during those cartoons to solidify the image.
Yeah.
So that way the kid would draw exactly what they wanted.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden it's reality. So I thought only things came into reality if they were believed in by a certain number of people. So one person or one kid, it was enough to bring this into life. I don't know. I don't get it.
He was like a chosen one because he was white, middle America, not offensive. But I still don't understand the rules of this world in this comic.
Yeah, and if you're at issue 13 and you're not getting it, then they're not explaining it right. That's not calculus at that point.
I'm not the sharpest tool, sharpest X in the bundle, but yeah, I don't know. I must be missing something because it's a lauded series, but it is what it is for me.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to all the people that do enjoy this show, this series. It's not for me. It is not for me. There are a lot of simpler, stupider books that I'd rather read. I mean, I can't sit down and read a novel. I just don't have the attention span to read a novel, which is why I got into reading comics. I could read Tom Clancy because he's very good at painting a picture with words that I could visualize in my head. And after he passed away, there were other people that tried to write in his style. It doesn't work for me.
Yeah, I mean, well, I like comic books in general too because of the artwork that accompanies every single page and every panel. And it's hard when you don't like the artwork in the comic, and it's hard when not only you don't like it, but you can't tell what the fuck is happening a lot of times. And I'm sorry, I'm being a little vulgar. I don't know if I'm, or whatever. I'm being self-conscious now after you said that about Hawk.
No, well, at least you're not talking about other things, like male genitalia. Let's just say that.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was. I was like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Juicy, throbbing. Like you didn't need it.
I mean, I was rewatching Punisher, the series that's now it was Netflix. I was rewatching that part of that today, and every time they got into extremely long sex scenes between Madani and Billy, I'm like fast forwarding, like this is like 6 minutes worth. What the hell? I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, it just was like it felt a little forced. So, I still can't tell if the world's actually flat or round in this story. I can't tell if there was actually a edge of the world, or if it's all just some fucking metaphor.
The way I kind of feel about it, though, is like I can't tell if it's round or flat, and honestly, I don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's a payoff for it to care.
I mean, it is still in print. There are people still reading it.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot imagine how this would translate to screen.
I don't know. And it got me even more confusing about there's two versions of Lee Harvey Oswald now. Did you get to that? I can't remember where that was. But they saved the wrong one or something. What else? Yeah, I don't know. I also was getting pissed off at it because of the stuff that he did, like insert frames into commercials and such clandestine bullshit. Like that was on top of everything that was irritating to me. I was getting like pissed off at the story.
Well, that actually means that you were getting into it a bit, because if you're getting pissed off at the characters, it means that on some level you care about what they're doing.
Just in a way that I was like, I fucking hope this isn't real, or I hope there's no like
validity.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, as a conspiracy theorist, I'm like, I can see people doing that.
And that's probably why I was getting irritated, because I was like, yeah, they probably do.
I must have chocolate milk right now. No, I want Nestle Quick.
Yeah, so I yeah, I don't know if I have much else to say. I honestly don't know what's happening. The marriage is barely existent. They referenced him once.
Oh,
Maddie.
Yeah.
And immediately Hawk was like, "What a stupid name," or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. So
that's my husband you're talking about. Okay.
Ruby is irritating. She's trying to be so hard.
Yeah, the one thing I kind of find funny, though, is her name is Ruby, and the one that supposedly shot Lee Harvey Oswald was Jack Ruby.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, by the way, I couldn't stand watching the X-Files either. So.
Well, I watched, I think, a couple seasons of the X-Files, and that was more coherent to me than reading this.
Oh, I agree with you. I watched a few episodes here and there, but I'm like, yeah, I can't.
Yeah. So, sorry, dudes and dudettes, but we're going to tell you how we feel. We're not walking on eggshells here on this channel. All right?
No, we're not. I mean, look, if it was liked by every single person, they would sell 8 billion copies a month.
As it is, they're only selling 4 billion. It's obviously we're in the minority for this one. It's Eisner consideration and all that stuff I saw. So it's optioned. So we're in the minority, and that's okay. The older I get, the more okay I am with that.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, I'm also finding out that I have a very narrow niche of books that I like to read.
Yeah.
Nothing Silver Age or Golden Age anymore. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Nothing with too much text. Nothing with muddled artwork.
Yeah, actually, if nothing else, this podcast is helping me hone in my preferred tastes of comic books.
We've got to pick something for next week.
I've got a suggestion that I think you're gonna enjoy.
Okay. Is it a modern book.
Yes.
Is it a book or a series?
It's 5 books.
Okie dokie. Marvel or DC?
IDW.
Turtles?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me.
The Last Ronin.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I've been wanting to read that, and I just saw it in passing, and I was like, oh, we should do that one.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. As a matter of fact, I have the number one over there that I still am waiting to get a few magazines to send into CGC, not CBCS.
Well, they just got new label. CGC got new magazine holders.
And they can rim them up their ass as far as I'm concerned.
No, CGC.
No, I thought CBCS got new magazine holders.
They both did, but I know you're beyond CBCS, so I just mentioned the CGC
I
one.
am now after today's fiasco. If you want to know what that's all about, you got to go to our channel and see the CBCS unboxing. Fret bastards. Anyway.
Yeah, so I've been wanting to read that. Everybody says it's really good. That doesn't mean shit, apparently.
I have never read a turtle comic book.
Oh, that's exciting. I love the IDW run. It's so good. I'm about 20 issues behind now, but there was a couple of weeks where I was just burning through like 100, at least 100 issues. I think they're up to like 140 now. It's I loved it.
All right, so Ronin it is.
And I think it's a standalone, like,
Storyline?
way later on in life kind of thing for them. Yeah.
Okay. I'm down. I'm interested.
Last Ronin. Boom.
Does Eastman do the artwork on that?
Didn't look like it. I opened up.
Okay. Because I heard that his art is not the greatest.
It's not my favorite. I mean, it's definitely his like
Style.
signature. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's an Eastman, and he does a couple covers here and there. But no, the inside is it's very clean.
Okay.
So
So we narrowed that one out this week.
regular text bubbles from what I saw.
Yes.
Defined art. So yeah,
Awesome.
Last Ronin. I'm excited.
All right. Well, there you go. We know what we read. We know what we're reading. Bring us home.
All right. So don't forget to check us out and subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/TeamOhana, where we've got 4 slots left for our Vanish giveaway.
Correct.
And
It's courtesy of Stinker Buns. We have issues 1 through 6. We got foils. We got 1 in 25s, 1 in 50s. We have the 1 in 100 variant of number 1. We're going to be just the first 7 people that join Patreon. We already have 3. We're just going to randomly pick out their addresses and send it to them once they pass the 45-day membership mark.
Yep. And also on the Patreon, you'll get this very podcast very early. You'll get just discussions, which blew up the other day. I just dropped a random question in there, and we had a whole big thread there. That was kind of fun. Turned into a trivia thing from Stinker Buns. He was like, "What's wrong with this picture?" And we had fun guessing. We have our random meetups that we have virtual, where we just hang out and talk about things. And
Which are now going to include you giving away comic books.
yes. So, what he's
Yeah.
referring to is the I've dubbed it the Patreon pull box. So
It's pee-pee.
yeah,
Got it.
very high end PP. I've got a pull box here of a bunch of books, and most of them there's a lot of minor keys here and there, some nice keys. Like there's a Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man #1 in there. Handful of McFarlane Spider-Man. Fun stuff. And every month we're gonna have a live stream where you, as a Patreon member, tell me a number from the front or the back, and I'll go or on the number that you tell me. I'll lift it up. Boom. That comic's yours. I'm going to be putting it in a Gemini mailer and shipping it to you free of charge as a thank you for being a patron on our Patreon.
Yes.
And that'll happen through the foreseeable future as long as I can handle it and have enough books and Gemini mailers, etc. But it should be a while. So I'm excited
cool.
to do that. I'm very excited. What do we got? A week and a half maybe till that. Yeah, it's May 21st, so June we're starting that up. I'm excited for that. You're gonna find polls, all kinds of just anything else that's not on our YouTube. Extra picks for our Remember Me video, which I think we're gonna put one out this week.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna get exclusive information on the Patreon for that. That people on YouTube are not getting. I think I covered everything on Patreon. So, yes, you will like and subscribe the YouTube videos. That was a segue there. Rate and leave comments on the podcast wherever you listen to the podcast. Yeah. And we'll catch you guys on the next episode of something that we do. Until we see you. Boop, boop, boop. Did you? Okay, that's fine. I'll just leave that. That's kind of fun.